Howdy, folks. I was just sitting here. Is this working? Yeah. Okay. I was just sitting here at the railway wondering why I put 4 steel rolls and 2 metal beam on my trailer. And I think I figured out that I intended to get a head start on the second segment of this job by dropping off a couple metal beams. But you know what? That's locked. So that's locked until the first segment's done. So it wouldn't give a shit if I dropped off a couple metal beams there. So what I think I'll do is convert those metal planks back into metal rolls. That'll give me 8 metal rolls on the trailer. And then the next trip can be 6 fuel and the last 2 metal rolls. This, if it gives me the list, just a second ago it was giving it to me. There we go. 6 fuel, and I can get the last 2 metal rolls here. And they have 2 concrete slab, but 2 is not 4. Unless and 2 more means that they have 4 here. That would be awesome. I could get everything up there between right here and right there, if that were the case. I think this has a couple concrete slabs as well. This has, excuse me, this has 2 metal rolls and 2 concrete slab as well. So I could do the 4 concrete slab either all from that place or between the 2 places. So I can knock out the rest of this material in pretty short order, I think. Whether I get around to building the cabins or not remains to be seen. I mean, in this episode. So let's quit talking about it and do something. Turn on the controller. You know, I wasn't yawning when I sat down here. I felt pretty good. The minute I logged on, I started yawning. I don't know, is that a psychosomatic thing? A Freudian slip? Meaning I don't really want to do this? Oh, shit, I don't know. I don't know why I got the Western SnowRunner this instead of a Kraz. But it is what it is. So we'll roll with it. Oh, I think I'm gonna regret not having a Kraz underneath it. Especially where we gotta go. I think I was just trying to get some use out of the truck that I bought. But if it's gonna make everything take twice as long, then back to the Kraz it is. It's right here, you know, low range diff lock. It's not moving. Oh, it's up against the pole. That's something where the Kraz probably would have just dragged it around the pole. I don't know if it would help or be a hindrance to drop the tag axle. It gives it more ground clearance, but I think it actually takes traction away from the rear tires. So look how easily it's spinning the tires now. And it's no longer making any forward progress. Putting the diff lock in helped. Jiminy Cricket, I could drive a Kraz down here in the time it takes to drive through these mud holes with the Western Star. Okay. Apparently not time to go back to automatic just yet. Who knows, maybe I intended to switch it out before I started to record again. But I just don't remember making that decision. Oh boy. It's a nice truck, and for light loads, like if you had, you know, 4 lumber or 4 consumables on an ordinary 5-spot trailer, I wouldn't hesitate for a second to pull it with the Western Star. But 8 spots of steel, it just isn't cutting it. In order to clear that pole, you have to ride up over this big boulder, and the Kraz does it with ease. This thing won't climb it. Full power and it just won't do it. See if I can skirt it just enough to still miss the pole. Let's try lifting the tag axle. I notice there's a big boulder right underneath the tag axle. Nope. Is this on the pole? Actually, it's not. If I could continue to turn right as the wheels are facing and pull forward over those boulders, I'd be out of here in a second. But anything that steers me to the, or if I continue to steer left, that's what I meant to say. Anything that steers me to the right is going to have me into the pole. Right now I'm clearing the pole. Any of that gonna hold? Hey, looks like it will. So let's keep steering to the left, pull forward, and we get right up there, bring it back to the right. And now drag it over the next obstacle. And the next one, and the next one. Now I can bring it back to the right without the utility poles interfering. See, but the crowds would have done that without even thinking about it. Speaking of a Kraz. Oh yeah, I was gathering lumber to build cabins. That's right. Well, that's in my way. And it needs to come over here. I think I'm gonna do the old switcheroony. But there's no reason to waste a bunch of gigabytes on that. I think what I'll do is get the lumber off to the side of the road where it's out of the way, put the Kraz underneath the metal, and then go off up the hill to the rolled steel factory with the Kraz pulling the heavy trailer. I'll bring you guys back in when I get the switch made. The old switcheroo done. I took the trailer with the lumber right over there to the rail yard where I can get the cabins, or where I can get the containers to make the cabins. And then I hooked up to this one. I refueled off of a service trailer that is sitting over there. Well, I did refuel, but what I meant to say was I repaired, because my front suspension was half gone. Now the way I was coming down with the lumber is where I gotta go up with the steel. I remember after I did a couple jobs up here. One of them was failed delivery. I remember grabbing what lumber I could before I left the area. There was 2 at the log station, 2 from a wood framing house. Now this I'm going to have to make sure it understands that I want. It's going to want to make metal beams from the metal rolls. I got to do it the other way around. Metal beams, 2 available. Unload. Now switch to metal rolls from metal beams. Now load. Let's spin around the 4 metal rolls. Well, that worked perfect the first time. How about that? Earlier today, I was editing or actually just kind of putting together all the different little parts and pieces of the last couple PTS videos, and I was working through the parts of those videos where I couldn't get the concrete slabs that I needed. Oh crap. I couldn't get the concrete slabs that I needed. And then I couldn't get the small pipe that I needed. It would craft it, but then it wouldn't load it correctly. So I'm very glad that this worked out. I'm getting there, I'm getting there. It'll work this time. Just gotta back it around that last corner and then swing the nose. Actually, that doesn't even matter. Just swing the nose toward that driveway over there. Or that path over there. And I'm off to the old mine, which becomes the gold mine. Straight ahead is the lake, big lake up on top of the hill. And this way is the old mine. See what I mean about this thing just hauling ass, whether it's mud or swamp or a big hill or whatever. Doesn't sit in the little mud puddle and spin its tires. Now I have seen some pretty bad boggy swamps that will slow it down. But you throw it in no rain, you eventually get through anyways. Remember when the Western Star wouldn't go over a rock? That whole field there was rocks. I forgot there was a trailer up here. That was from delivering the bricks. I delivered 8 brick. Therefore, you don't see it on the list anymore. Now we will do 8 out of 10 of the metal rolls. Ah, I love it when it works right. I have to swing around and go back down the hill. That trailer's probably going to be in my way, but I'll make a big wide swing. Just one thing. When I was thinking about what I'm going to do after the metal, the concrete and the fuel, if you were up here at the gold mine and you wanted to, say, get down to that warehouse right there, you can go down here. I'll make a mark so it's easier to see. You can go down here and cut down like that, and then like this, and come out right there at cabin zone number 2. And then there are opportunities to cross the river all along in here. Not so much right here. You're better off to cross to the island and then from the island over to the other side. Or you can go way up here and there's also a crossing by the log station. Just a little shortcut versus driving all the way back down here, and then all over here, and then all the way back up to here. And conversely, if you were here and you wanted to get here, you just run the same route backwards. Okay, end of lecture. You can also run straight up and down that conveyor belt. See that conveyor belt out the right window? You can follow that conveyor belt up and down the hill. Oof, just made that. Just made that by the little teats they leave on the tires. I think those are probably wore off by now, though. Don't you? Now, let's go get some more shit. How about 6 fuel and 2 more metal rolls? And then we'll do concrete slab on a 3rd trip. I've recorded about 15 minutes. It took, yeah, I recorded approximately 15 minutes to get all the little explanation plus getting the Western Star over to where I encountered the crabs. And then it's been, right now it's been 14 minutes since I brought you guys back in. Sure made a hell of a lot more progress in that last 14 minutes. I know you guys might get sick of seeing me drive the crabs all the time, but look at what it does. Anyways, I won't. I'll try not to compare anymore. And just get the work done. I did have a subscriber the other day ask me, what is that truck you were driving and how can I get one? I thought that was funny. How can I get one? We'll go straight to the rail yard. Whatever we can't get there, we'll see about getting at the warehouse over here. That includes the next load, the concrete as well. Unfortunately, we have to turn around at the rail yard so we can go back the way we came in. There just isn't a lot of room to do that. Suppose pull in here and back around the corner. That's what I did to get the other trailer over there. Alright, not exactly straight with the trailer, but that's okay. I always do this wrong when I'm looking backwards at it. If I'm sitting in the driver's seat looking in the mirror, like I did for 25 years, then I do it right. But first we gotta get under the trailer, and then we gotta start getting it around the corner. Dang pole. Pole's gonna make me have to cut it harder. And then I'm gonna have to straighten up, because I had to cut it harder. But that's okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Don't call me Shirley, though. Has anybody seen Airplane? Don't call me Shirley. Anyways. 6 fuel. 2 metal rolls. See if I can get the 2 metal rolls on. And then go for the 6 fuel. Bada bing, bada boom, and we're out of here. We're back up the hill. Next load, 4 concrete slabs. All this thing had to do was pause to downshift. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to compare anymore. I'm trying not to. Keep it off the pole. Whenever it sees a pole, it gets like a magnetic attraction. Mud goes splat. Ouch. Front end got up in the air and came down hard. I just sit here smiling when I'm running this truck. When it's working right, everything has an off day. Like the previous video. Well, not the previous video, I forget that you guys are a couple, 3 videos behind what I'm actually recording. Episode 3. But that actually wasn't the truck's fault. That was me missing the turn, then having back up, and do all this bullshit that I shouldn't have been doing, shouldn't have needed to do. If I just made the turn in the first place. Or if I wanted to go get the watchtower, just disconnect the trailer at the intersection and go one way with the truck and then back out of there and get under the trailer again. And then go to Mr. Stevenson's house. But no. How about some cargo management again? The last 2 steel rolls and all 6 of the fuel. This thing will move some freight, I tell ya. Get this back around. And away we go. You know, maybe I should try to go this way and then bring the nose around. Take that bad kink out of getting around those concrete slabs there. That worked much better. See, even an old guy with dementia, an old truck driver with dementia can learn something. Spring tree. I left a comment for the developer of the Trees Down mod, saying something to the effect that there's a lot of new trees in the game, and all his mod does with those trees is make them big springs. They'll lay down, but then they spring back up. And if you happen to be still on top of it when it springs back up, it'll just lift your truck right up with it. But the dude hasn't made an update, put out an update to his mod in 89 days. See, this was yesterday, so 90 days. And hasn't even been online for 3 weeks. So I don't expect him to ever come back and update the mod. Just like the guy that made this truck, Chameleon, and he made the M134. All he did was put them out and then he split. He hasn't been back since the game was released. I suppose he, at the time, Focus Home or Saber Interactive, they were probably, maybe he works for them, or maybe they hired him to produce a couple of mods. The M134 came out the day of release when there were only 5 mods available. The M134 was one of them. And then this thing came out about a week or 2 weeks after that. So, so like I say, maybe it was just nothing but a job for him and he doesn't give a shit anymore. He's not getting the paycheck anymore. Wish you could just drive around, but you can't. There's shit blocking the other end. Not looking too bad this time if I don't go too sharp and keep, and you know, run it up the steps there. Now start bringing it around hard. That's hard enough. If it would just straighten out quicker. I wouldn't have even had to pull ahead if it would just get back under it quicker. You know, I was noticing the other day, even in my pickup truck, I still back up with the mirrors. I never turn my head to look behind me. 25 years of driving semi, backing up with mirrors. I still haven't driven semi since 2012. I still back up with my mirrors. For concrete slab, not the block. Slab, 2 slab left. So we'll get 2 at the other place. We can load up 2 here. And then we'll go to the other place and we'll get 2 more. Make it morning again. It looks like I can just keep it down to an hour. Because I'm at 39 minutes right now, plus 15. It should be real close to an hour. Without taking the time to build the cabins, which I'll do in the next one. Oh, and they changed the numbering system for the cabins. You look over there on my screen, your screen, it says 0 of 2 for 2 cabins, where it would have said 0 of 10 for 2 cabins. Because each cabin counted for 5 points. Well, they got rid of the old numbering system. Now if you need 2 cabins, you get 0 of 2. So on and so forth. Oh, yeah, I briefly caught the pole back there, but drug the trailer off of it. I sometimes get a little worried about how far that trailer leans over, but I've never lost anything on that corner, so this you can drive all the way through. It's just kind of a pain in the ass. Well, not kind of. It is a pain in the ass coming back out. Because you've got this rocky ditch here. You've got a pole on the right side. You've got a pole on the left side. You got a pole on the left side of the driveway up there. It's ridiculous. I caught that pole trying to swing wide enough. And you have to watch the edges of these concrete slabs. They will do a lot of damage, even flat tires. Give me 2 concrete slab. Thank you very much. Now I go on my way. And what I've done in the past and found to work fairly well is go through here. Just like that, we're off up the road. With a very heavy load. I can see that the grass is not moving along quite as quickly, but it's still moving. Kick it in low range through here, so it reduces the tire speed. If the tires don't spin as much, you can make better headway. As soon as I get out of that mud, I'll put it back in automatic and it'll actually gain speed going up the hill. There's second. There's third. Oh, would have almost in fourth, and I hit the pole. I was trying to turn away, and my thumb slipped off the stick. Need some stickum on there. They used to always be plenty sticky enough because the kids would spill shit on the controllers all the time. Soda pop or juice. Buttons are always sticky. I remember having to take a lightly damp rag and drip a little water in around the A, X, Y, and B buttons. Squeeze the rag and drip a little water in around the buttons, and then work the buttons up and down with the wet rag to keep the buttons from sticking when you push them. You could push them down, they wouldn't pop up. But that's kids for you. I've kept those old controllers going for a long time. I just recently replaced the one that I've been using for SnowRunner. The old original Xbox 360 controller, because it was The stick was getting too sloppy on it. Looks like we're going to be just over an hour. That's okay. That is four concrete slab. 1, 2, 3, 4. Outstanding. Now when we deliver the 2 cabins, that will complete this segment of reinvigorating the old mines. Still have another segment to do with more of the same. So, in the interest of not making this any longer than it has to be, I will say thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.